A very warm good evening to everyone out there. This is Nishat. I am Sociology faculty at LevelupIAS. And this video is specially made for all the students who are going to appear in the year 2025 with Sociology as an optional. We are going to start our Sociology Foundation batch on 17th of June. Only 4 days are left. The registration window gets closed. And I'm super excited for this upcoming batch, just like I am always for any batch. And so are the students who have already registered with us. But every year, we have many other students who have certain queries, whose queries somehow go or remain unaddressed. I thought I should be making a certain compilation of all those queries, which I'm sure will help many other students out there who may be having the same set of query before they join the batch or even after they have joined the batch. So before I talk about those queries, it is going to be a frequently asked question compilation. I'll make you go through the features of our batch. The first feature, which I already discussed in the previous two sessions, was that we'll be having live answer writing session. That means live answer writing in the sense that we'll be having regular answer writing in the class itself. Usually, when you study, when you are beginner, you spend most of your time in understanding the concept or making the notes, but you don't get enough time to see or to test yourself when it comes to writing the answer on a specific question. And eventually, how you write, what you write is going to matter more than how and what kind of notes you had made. So just to ensure that you don't miss out on the writing aspect, we include answer writing in the class itself, and that goes regularly with the regular classes. Second thing which is very important, and you must have heard a lot from many toppers of lately, is previous year question. Previous year question is definitely one of the most important pillar of this preparation. And again, students sometimes develop so much interest in a subject that they start buying multiple books without bothering about the demand that UPSC has, which can be checked only through previous year questions. Just to ensure that you don't miss out on the previous year questions, we include PYQs in the class itself. That means when we are covering the topic, I'll make you write a PYQ, and that happens in a very regular and in a very streamlined fashion. And usually we have a countdown timer running in the class initially, just to get you into the groove of answer writing, so that you actually get the hang of how much of the time is remaining before you complete your answer. So it is a very regularized, streamlined thing that we do in the class itself. Live MCQ is again a very interesting feature of our foundation course. Usually, since it is, an optional, that means it requires writing. So one may think as to how multiple choice question thing is going to help you. See, the idea is fairly simple. When you do MCQ for prelims, eventually it is helping you to remember those things properly and to reinforce those things in your mind. For example, if you read polity, when you do MCQ on polity, those things that you may have read gets reinforced in your mind. Same thing is something that we do in sociology paper as well. In our classes, after completion of chapter or after completion of set of 2-3 chapters, we test students on MCQ, and that is very entertaining, very fun exercise that involves every student using their mobile phone. A smart kind of game runs parallelly. They can go through all the questions from their phone screen. Their names, their score will be highlighted on the smart board. So it is very, I would say, smart kind of technological, innovative thing to help students revise their static portion. And fourth thing which is important is the test. Usually in foundation course, you would see test series is not included, and you may check that also. Usually you would see it is sold as a different leg altogether or a different course altogether. But I believe unless test is included in the foundation, foundation is incomplete. as I told you in the very beginning, that we give a lot of focus on answer writing. So answer writing is done regularly, but then you are tested also on certain regular intervals, and that will help you keep on track with your target, keep on track with your goal, and it will also help you to keep yourself in competitive mode with the other students who are going to compete against you on the final day. The last thing is mentor support. I'm sure many of the students already know about this, that this year we are going to have total 4 mentors. Other than me, there are going to be 3 mentors. One is Vardha, who secured All India rank 18. She was our student. And second will be Prakhar. He was also our student. And Anurag Chopra, he was also our student. So all the students who were part of our courses will be mentoring the upcoming students. And this will help students keep themselves motivated. देखो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या है आज की डेट में? रिसोर्स सबको पता है, टाइमलाइन सबको पता है, टेस्ट लिखना है सबको पता है, बट सिर्फ पता ही है, करते नहीं है लोग. मेंटर्स का काम होगा वो आपसे करवाएंगे. सो जिसे कहते हैं ना, एक पुश मिल जाए, हमें सब कुछ हो जाता है, बस एक हमें पुश मिल जाए. मेंटर्स का काम वही रहेगा कि वो आपको पुश देंगे, जो कि सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है. It is very natural and normal thing, not just in the lives of an individual but also in the life cycle of economy. Economy also goes up and down. सिर्फ इंसान की ही जिंदगी में चढ़ाव और जिसे कहते हैं डिप्रेशन नहीं आता. इकोनॉमी में भी डिप्रेशन या फिर इन्फ्लेशन, वो साइकिल आती है. सो नीचे से ऊपर जाने के लिए बहुत जरूरी होता है कि कोई हमें पुश दे. So mentors will be there to help you with your general queries, to help you, get yourself aligned with the target and to complete the syllabus on time and not miss out on the lectures or even the test. Now coming to some of the most frequently asked questions जो कि students के रहते हैं, other than all those things which I've already discussed. So first query is, do we need to study anything before the batch begins? हमेशा ऐसा रहता है. ये क्वेश्चन बहुत ही फेवरेट है स्टूडेंट्स का. हमेशा स्टूडेंट्स पूछते हैं, डू वी नीड टू स्टडी एनीथिंग एल्स बिफोर द बैच बिगिंस? यूजुअली दे थिंक दैट वी शुड स्टडी एनसीईआरटी और वी कैन गो थ्रू हार्लम्बस और सम अदर बुक. आई have never ever recommended any of my student to study anything before beginning the classes. I want all of you to come with blank slate, जिसे कहते हैं टेबुलर रासा. ब्लैंक स्लेट के साथ अगर आप आओगे, मेरे लिए आसान हो जाएगा उसके ऊपर कुछ लिखना, और आपके लिए आसान हो जाएगा उस चीज को समझना. एंड इवन इफ यू हैव ऑलरेडी रेड समथिंग, ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको कोई नुकसान है. आई एम श्योर हमारे अंदर, सबके अंदर एक क्यूरियोसिटी होती है. ऑल ऑफ अस वांट टू लर्न समथिंग, and all of us want to learn something every day, and I'm sure some of you may have already gone through some of the NCERT, but those who have not are not losing out on anything. We are going to start from the scratch. Scratch का मतलब होता है कि हम एकदम जीरो से शुरू करते हैं. And I assume that you have not read anything, and I also assume that none of you are coming from sociology background. So हम बहुत simple language रखते हैं और to the point रखते हैं, और important ये होता है कि हम सीखते हैं कि क्या नहीं सीखना, वो भी important होता है. Second, do we need to refer any book other than LevelupIAS class handouts and notes? ये भी एक क्वेश्चन होता है कि क्या हमें रिसोर्स के अलावा कुछ नहीं पढ़ना, क्योंकि यूजुअली स्टूडेंट्स को लगता है कि हाँ, कोचिंग वाले तो हमेशा ये बोलेंगे कि हमारे नोट्स के अलावा और कुछ नहीं पढ़ना. बट आई विल बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट विद यू, इन एनी ऑफ माई फाउंडेशन बैच आई हैव never ever asked any student to buy even a single book other than the things that we are giving out to. आप ये भी एक चीज नोटिस करोगे, और आपके फ्रेंड्स में भी आपने शायद ये चीज देखा होगा, मेनी ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स मे हैव बॉट orange or blue colored Harlembus. Orange is the thin one and the blue one is very thick. So you may have seen many of your students having Harlembus stacked up on their जिसे कहते हैं shelves. But you will be surprised, and I think you should not be surprised, that they may not have even referred more than 5 or 6 pages of that book. Sometimes, in fact, most of the times, the book gets completely ignored in the preparation of students, preparation journey of the students. We buy it out of enthusiasm, but we don't know where to begin it from, where to end. We can't read it cover to cover. So, in the whole process, the book stays completely fresh. And this has happened with many of the students. So, you don't need to buy the book. That book is not even made for UPSC, that book is made for higher studies. So, you can safely ignore that book, because we, in our handouts and in our class, ensure that you don't miss out on anything which has been asked by UPSC, which is important, keeping UPSC exam in perspective. Third, can we get sample notes? Yes, I'll be showing you the sample notes also in a short while. Let me also take some of other question before I show you the sample notes. I've already done Sociology Foundation. Can I get only mentors help? Mentorship session. Okay. Yes, there are some other queries also, that can we get only mentorship from 4 of you guys, because I have already covered foundation. After the prelims, we are going to launch 2-3 different programs. One will be crash course, which is very popular among students. Crash course come test series, and second would be the test series, which is equally popular. And the third one, which we are going to come out with this year, would be the mentorship session. The details of the mentorship session will be out very soon, right after the prelims. So I'm sure the students who are preparing sociology by self-study, they would love this mentorship session, because even if we are preparing by self-study, we know eventually we are in one or the other way dependent on either books or some teacher or some YouTube videos. So why not to get direct mentorship? And to streamline your preparation, it is important that you have a proper disciplined mentorship with a proper structured timetable that we will be coming out with right after the prelims. Now, next question is, I have already covered Sociology Foundation from some other institute, but it was not satisfactory. I want to cover it again under your guidance. Can I please get some discount? There are such queries also. There have been students who have already covered Sociology Foundation from some other institute, and they can't afford the same course at such a high price. All those students, I would request only one thing. You must write one email to the admin team, and you must also attach what I call as the receipt of the institution wherever you might have studied. This will help the admin team to give you certain concession, and I'm sure they will give you a good concession, because even I would not want you to spend the same amount of money once again for the same course, assuming that you already know basic things now. Okay. Now, these are the sample notes that I was talking about. Like research methods, most of the students already know how tough this chapter seems to them. They ignore this chapter altogether. But UPSC does not ignore this chapter. UPSC in the past 3 years have asked questions worth 60 to 70 marks in the past 3 years. And I'm not saying 60 to 70 cumulatively, I'm saying individually in each of the year, they've asked questions worth 60 to 70 marks. That means, and most of them are in compulsory questions. That means you can't even skip that. You don't have agency to even skip questions from research method. So, so in our notes, we always ensure that they are not like traditional, books where you have multiple paragraphs, black and white, without any diagram or infographics. In our notes, we ensure that we have proper flowcharts, we have simple language, and we have subheadings, we have tables, we have some important keywords highlighted, and we also have some of the important concepts which are almost absent in most of the traditional or conventional books. For example, I'm sure most of the students who had given mains last year, they must have come across a question in their compulsory section that was called as dramaturgy. Students who have been part of my foundation course, they already know that we cover this dramaturgy section every year in every foundation, and we cover it extensively. We don't just touch upon it for a few minutes. I cover this section approximately. I take 20 to 30 minutes to explain dramaturgy because it is very important. And this year it was part of compulsory question. You could not have skipped it. And each and every mark matters when it comes to option because it is having the highest weightage. You can't afford. And it is not just about one question. There have been many such questions which have been there directly in our class notes, in our handouts, and which have not been there in the traditional books. And you may even check that out. So this is all about our sample notes. And as far as other things are concerned about our foundation course, as I have already explained in the previous sessions, we are going to have student assessment card, where each student will be given one card which will have their marks and remarks on their performance for each and every test. This card will help student to keep a track of their performance. This card will also help the mentors to guide the students accordingly, according to the performance of that student, which is visible, very much visible through the marks and the remarks that he or she is getting. And yes, handouts I've already discussed these. And other than handouts, I've often talked about this book, quick revision book, which is also part of our course. I often give this book eventually at the end of the day to help students revise everything through one page. So this is all about the foundation course. I hope I have been able to address most of the queries. In case you still have some other query left, please drop in your queries in the comment box. I'll also share my Telegram channel. You can be part of the Telegram channel so that you don't miss out on any important update. So with this, I'll wrap up the session. We have 4 days left now. Today is 13th. So I think by the time the video gets uploaded on YouTube, I hope it gets uploaded today only. But so in case it is getting uploaded on 14th, so we will have 3 days left. So registration window will be open till 17th. So I wish you all the very best. And I'm super excited to see you all. Thank you so much.